Hi guys, I'm Andy and welcome back to Backpacking UK. If hiking, backpacking and wild camping are your thing, please hit that subscribe button because that's what this channel's all about. Right, today we're talking about tent pegs, and in particular, should you upgrade your tent pegs? Now, I was quite horrified recently to see my friend's brand new £500 tent came with some really pathetic tent pegs. There's just no excuse for it, especially when the Chinese brands are giving you all these really fancy tent pegs on their bargain budget tents. So what I'm going to do today is just talk through the different types of tent pegs, give them a little test, and then give you a summary at the end to which ones I think you should go for. So I've got 7 different types of tent peg. Some of these are to be used in very specific conditions, but basically what I've got is a V-shaped DAC peg. I've got a triple nature hike tent peg. I've got a triple cyclone style tent peg. I've got a quad cross type tent peg. I've got a traditional tent peg stake, albeit heavy duty. Then I've got a Delta ground anchor, and then I've got a tent peg that's suitable for the sand and the snow. So all these tent pegs cost between about £10 and £15. I'll put all the links in the description, but one thing I will say straight away is you do not need to spend an absolute fortune on tent pegs. For instance, if I were to buy the Hilleberg versions of these, it cost about £100 a pack. Now, these cost £13.99 a pack, and they're rock solid. They're not going anywhere. There's just no need to spend a lot of money on tent pegs. So what do I think will happen? Well, I'm guessing that the traditional style tent peg is going to be the worst, as well as the V-shaped tent peg. Then I think the best pegs are likely to be the cyclone style tent peg and the ground anchor. But let's have a look. Right, so let's see what these tent pegs weigh. First up is the V-shape twin DAC peg, weighs 12 grams. Next up, we've got a triple nature hike tent peg. See what that weighs, just 9 grams. Next up is the triple cyclone style nature hike tent peg, 9 grams. Next up is like a cross quad style peg, 12 grams. The traditional Hilleberg tent peg, 16 grams. Then we've got the ground anchor at 46 grams. And we've got the snow and sand peg, which is 51 grams. Right, so this is the first tent peg. This is like a twin blade DAC peg. Let's see how this goes in the ground. This is nice and easy to get in the ground. Put a little bit more force on it. Sunk in. Now that is not moving anywhere, and it's got a nice lip up here, so if you put it right into the ground, the guy ropes aren't going to pop off the top of this tent peg. The next one is this nature hike tent peg. It's like a triple style tent peg. Let's see how this goes in. Again, it's reasonably easy to get in there. Let's get these tight. Again, the last little bit just needs to be done by foot. Yeah, that's nice and solid there too. Right, next up is this triple cyclone style peg. Let's see how this goes in. Now, as I put it in, I'm going to have to sort of twist it. Yeah, this is a lot harder to get in. It's really awkward actually. Oh, really awkward. It doesn't really like being put in the ground either, and doesn't actually feel that stable either. I thought once it was in that was going to be really good, but not that great. Oh, I can't get it out. Even if I had a little tab on it, I would struggle. Okay, next up is like a 4-way quad cross style tent peg. Let's put this in. That goes in really nice and easy actually. Just put more. Yeah, a little bit of movement on there, but yeah, not too bad. Next up is the classic circular tent peg. Now, this is quite a heavy duty one, but this should go in really easy. And it does actually. It's nice having a bit on the top that you can put some force down, keep it nice, and that is actually really strong. It's really strong in there. So last up is the Delta ground anchor. I'm not expecting this to be that easy to put in, but let's give it a go. I'll put the guy ropes in first, and oh, flipping heck, this is really hard to get in. Oh gosh, can't get in. Gosh, I'm bending it. Right. Now still, there's a little bit of movement on that forward as well. Can't really get over that. I mean, this is pretty strong. Not as strong as I was thinking, to be honest. Right, so that didn't quite go to plan. I got that totally wrong, which goes to show you should have a little test every now and then to make sure you know what's going to work and what isn't. So the just quite a simple V-shape tent peg was actually really good. It went in the ground easy, but once it was in, it stayed there. There was no wriggling around there. Likewise, albeit this is a very heavy duty traditional stake. Again, it was really easy to get in the ground, and once it was in there, that really wasn't going anywhere. Now, big upset for me was this Delta ground anchor. I mean, this ground was soft outside, and it's really hard to get into the ground. Not just that, it's really hard to get out, and once it was in there, it still had a bit of movement somehow. So this took me by surprise. I thought these would be better than that. Not only that, they weigh quite a lot too, and when you think you might be taking up to say 10 tent pegs with you, you could, if you use these all the way round, which to be honest you wouldn't really, but that's half a kilo if you took 10 of these with you, plus the space too. These sort of cyclone type tent pegs, really difficult to get in the ground, to be honest, and they're really hard to get out. I'd probably give those a miss if I were you. And likewise, the triple and the quad style tent pegs, I don't really know. They were quite easy to get into the ground, but there was a bit of movement on them, and I'm just not too sure. So I think, in summary, what I've really learnt for, these just happen to be tent pegs that Hilleberg use. Now, I guess there's a reason for that, and I'm guessing they've done extensive research to find out what works best for their tents. And even though they're very simple tent pegs, they're actually very effective. So what I'll do, even though these are like higher end tent pegs, I'll find some budget versions of these and put them in the links in the description. So I hope you got something out of this, but I'd certainly recommend upgrading your tent pegs if you've got the thin traditional style stake, especially the ones with the little hoop. They're bloody awful. You know, you can bend them really easily. Once they're bent, that's it. You might as well throw them away. They come out the ground far too easily. Just ditch them. There's no need. You can buy a set of tent pegs for £10–15, upgrade your tent pegs and you won't regret it. So if you haven't before, check out my videos. Got over 100 out there. Hope to see you camping soon. Cheers.